Hello, this is Ranveer Brar. I am a chef, been cooking for 25 years.
Right, and hello, this is Mridu Bhandari. Ranveer, welcome to our special one-on-one conversation series where I'm catching up with newsmakers and renowned personalities on what COVID-19 is doing to their lives. So first, let me ask you, you're in a lockdown. How are you spending your days? Cooking a lot these days? What's new?
Initially when the lockdown came, I thought it'll be like about creating new stuff and all the creativity that I always wanted to bloom would bloom. But it became more about staying strong in the head, mental preservation, figuring out this new norm of working from home, keeping the ball rolling while you're still at home. So it brought its own challenges, and those challenges can be tiring. And my way of dealing with challenges is just get in the kitchen and start cleaning or cooking, and that's what I did. Fortunately, it has helped. What we've done is we've started a new YouTube series called Kam Mein Zyada, finding out the meaning of less is more in this quarantine. It's done really well already. 10 million plus footprints.
On the innovation front, has this period sort of given you time to innovate, experiment more with food? What are the new things you've come up with during the lockdown?
I think resourcefulness is what it has taught all of us, including me. Like, my society is being sealed for the last 5 days. There's a COVID positive patient in my building, and so a lot of things that were accessible earlier, like a walk downstairs, is not accessible. So, as a natural result, you're forced to think, you're forced to innovate, you're forced to create dishes that require less. And I think that is going to be the future of the industry. Even in the restaurant industry, we will not have as many resources when we start. Our hands are going to be tied. We're going to be working with a lot less than what we are used to. So this is a good time to get used to it as chefs, as food entrepreneurs, of understanding that the resources are going to be slightly tight, and it's going to be an interesting time.
Yeah, in fact, I was just coming to that. The restaurant business is one of the businesses that has taken a really hard hit, and perhaps it's going to be one of the last ones to recover because, socializing is something that's going to be last on the priority list of people even when life gets back to normal. So, how are chefs and restaurant staff taking this whole period? What are some of the ways that they can perhaps, hone their talents better, reach out better? Perhaps some of them turn food entrepreneurs as well at this point in time because a lot of them are losing jobs already, and perhaps the situation will get worse in the next couple of months, isn't it?
At an individual level, what is really important is to understand that the smaller the better. And it's a time for a lot of chefs, restaurant employees, to go small, to start something that is their own, small. Start from deliveries. It's a good opportunity for them to express themselves by themselves. Not be a small cog in a big organization, but have a small idea that sort of blooms. It's a great time for you to start looking at being a small business.
Right, right. But and what about luxury and fine dining? Because that's a business that's taken a huge hit. Maintenance costs are really, really high, and that's perhaps one of the businesses that's not going to bounce back very easily. What is the NRAI talking? What are the conversations like between the stakeholders? What's on your wish list as far as the government is concerned?
Practically speaking, a lot of luxury dining will have to move in home. A lot of luxury restaurants will have to figure out a way to create that luxury at people's homes. So that they can call 10, 15, 20 people and enjoy the same luxury that they were enjoying at the restaurant. I think it's time that restaurants thought of ways and means of going to the customer's house rather than waiting for the customer to come to them.
So, when you reimagine this post COVID-19 world where perhaps social distancing is going to be part of normal life for us, at least until a vaccine comes out and is administered to billions of people around the world, what is it that restaurants can do to ensure that they stay in the business and don't really sink in the times to come?
A few things are a must. I think real estate corrections are a must for restaurants to survive. I think rentals are a big part of the restaurant P&L. I think relooking at the whole rental equilibrium is really, really important. It's also important to assume that your seats are going to be cut by 40% in the minimum, 50% ideally, because the distance between two seats and everything else will now be rejigged. And when you open to hope for anything above a 55% would be foolish. And you got to factor that in when you start. You got to factor that in the menus that you have. Long, exhaustive menus are not going to work because it's high inventory. You need cash for inventories. And also, I think a good understanding between the e-commerce aggregators and the restaurants is also very important.
And e-commerce deliveries, in fact, have been one of the exceptions during the lockdown. Food delivery by apps like Zomato, Swiggy, etc. have continued. So do you see that becoming one of the major revenue earners for restaurants going forward? And like you said, there will have to be collaborations of all kinds. There will have to be mindset shifts and perhaps walking a middle path as far as brick and mortar restaurants as well as aggregators are concerned. So what are the top 2 or 3 things that you think both these parties need to work on to collaborate better for the future?
A lot of promotions that get passed on through the aggregators sometimes are at the cost of the restaurants, and it becomes directly proportional to the business that they are giving you, the discount that you give them. I think that practice sort of needs to find an equilibrium where all those discounts that get passed down to the consumer are sort of shared between the aggregators and the restaurants. I think there needs to be an understanding. Otherwise, while aggregators have this advantage, they can create their own cloud kitchens and continue with business. Aggregators also have a sort of a duty to the industry that they are in, and there can be no business at the cost of the industry. There's no industry, there can be no business, and it is dire. And all of us need to understand that it is dire.
Right. All right. And talking about the lockdown, what's the food that you've been cooking the most? Give us some easy, nutritious recipe that all of us home cooks can whip up one of these days.
So the easiest and the most nutritious recipe is the khichdi. I always say India had kind of gotten it right ages ago before anybody could. The most nutritious cereal pulse combination is the khichdi. Perfect amount of protein, good amount of carbs. And the other dish that we often talk about and that I often cook at home is, the ability to cook various lentils and vegetables together, right? I think whether it's the dalcha of Hyderabad or whether it is the amti of Maharashtra or whether it is the sambar, we have this culture of cooking vegetables and pulses together. It's the most nutritious hot pot that you can have,
Yeah. So what are you missing the most while being in a lockdown? What's the first thing you want to do once life is somewhat back to normal?
I'm just missing the ability to connect to strangers, because I draw from people as a creator. I draw from people. That's where my creative energy comes from. So I can't. Otherwise, it's just a hollow head. Right. So I'm missing that.
Right. All right. And here's hoping that we are all back to normal sooner than we can imagine right now. But thank you so much, Ranveer, for talking to us on this special conversation. And with that, it's a wrap of this edition of our special one-on-one conversation series. I'll be back next time with another newsmaker or a renowned personality talking about business and life in the times of dealing with a global pandemic. Thank you very much for joining us today. Goodbye.